let's get started on the podcast,
Let's
guys.
get this show on the road, as they
Let's
say.
get the show on the road. As they say. Oh God.
As they, who's they? I don't know.
Anyway,
Like I say that so often, as they say, and who's this they?
who's they? They is a bunch of people. Anyway, hello and welcome to the VolCast, where we don't wear pants because we don't have any face cams or anything. We're just voices, enigmas.
Wait, I have pants on. Is this okay?
No.
I'm wearing
Do I
underwear.
have to take off my pants now?
Yeah, you do. We'll wait.
Just make the taking pants off sound so everyone knows.
Not pantsless.
My pants are not very loud, so it's gonna be a very silent
heard
taking
it.
off the pants.
I heard that one. Anyway,
Oh, that's good.
I'm your host Katz, and I like yarn and stuff. And then there's my partner in crime Odie,
Hey, what's up?
the man with 5 goober dollars, Poptimus.
Holla.
Oh God.
Oh.
And Dad, still out getting milk.
Hey, I'll be back soon.
Dad's never coming back.
Oh God.
No.
He left us to go get milk at the store.
Oh, I need to find the right milk.
Daddy.
Anyway, so how is everybody doing? How's everybody's day?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I spent 5 hours organizing Yu-Gi-Oh cards for whatever reason.
Nice.
Not really, no. I
Optimus.
actually
No, it's not.
I was cleaning I was cleaning off a shelf and then it led into that.
Hey, I've done that with Magic cards, so like.
Optimus, I don't
I
think
understand.
I've ever been as attracted to you as I am right now.
Wow, dude. Okay.
Well, I'm glad that's out of the way. All right.
Let's move to the first topic. Every gamer's yearly wet dream happened. The Steam Summer Sale. What did you guys get during the sale?
So I got Rocket League, and
Ooh.
I got Cairo, which is this awesome puzzle platformer. I also got the Talos Principle, which is this awesome puzzle game.
I've heard that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've watched Day 9 play it.
Yeah,
I also got. I was gonna get Dishonored too, but then I saw that they are gonna release Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, and I was like, they're gonna probably release like a ultimate pack with everything for Christmas sale.
Yeah. Ooh.
I was like,
Probably.
I'm gonna wait for that.
I want to play Dishonored 2. My computer doesn't run it too well though. Currently,
Yeah.
Dishonored 1 is like one of my favorite top game favorite. One of
Oh yeah,
favorites.
Dishonored 1
Oh,
was fantastic.
so much fun. I also
Tried
got
learning the speed run. Oh, sorry.
Should
I
be
got also
someday.
Naissance. I don't know. It's this weird. Like I got a bunch of cool indie games for under like $1 or like $2.
Yeah, those are
Then
the
I got
best.
the How to Full Boyfriend Pigeon Dating Simulator.
Oh, did you stock
Leave.
up on those anime trash quote unquote games?
I did. I need the dad dating simulator. Just so I
Oh
can
my
wait to
God.
namesake.
I would 100% watch you play that. No joke.
Oh,
Like
I
that'd be
want
so
to.
entertaining. Daddy being a real good daddy.
Oh God,
Daddy.
no. Odie,
Yeah.
what did you get?
I got a lot of good stuff. I got XCOM 2. Been really enjoying that game. Civilization 6, which I've been like hyping for forever.
Is that good? Or have you played it?
It's really good. Civ 6 is really good. It's better than the 5th one. My only problem is I don't have as much time or patience to play it anymore for some reason. Because like every time I play it, I'm just like, oh, I really like this, but I have work to do and I have other games to play and I have so many other stuff to do. And there's League of Legends, and that was my life.
I know how you feel. I have like over like 140 hours in Civ 5, and I've never even completed a game.
Yeah, right? You get halfway through the
games.
game, you're just like, oh, this game has gone to shit. I don't want to play this anymore.
I've just played so many like 8-hour sessions till like 2 a.m. with a bunch of friends. We never
Right.
finish.
What did you get, Poptimus?
I didn't get a whole lot. I finally broke and bought the wallpaper engine. That's like the one thing I've actually used.
Nice.
It's that good. Let's see. I'm going through it. Bought Pony of Doomsday. It's like a point and click adventure series. I played a bit of the first one and I like haven't gone back. They're really interesting. I like the animation style.
I really like point and click games. Those are so much fun.
Yeah, I've been trying to get more into them. I bought Black Wake. Then I returned Black Wake. Okay, Black Wake is not bad. It's just because it's a I don't know if you've seen it. It's like it's a pirate game essentially. If you've it's similar to Warband or Mountain Blade Napoleonic Wars.
Okay.
It works pretty well. It's an in development game, but it was kind of boring. And other than that, I bought Darksiders franchise because I've been wanting to for a while. And then the only real one I played out of them so far that I bought Stardew Valley as well. I also bought Black Desert Online.
Oh, I got that as well,
Me
and
too.
I've not gotten a chance to play it yet.
I haven't touched it.
Well,
either.
it's I've been waiting for it because once I upgrade because it's hard to run and I have to poor quality. But like first off, the character creation in that game is a cut above the rest. Like it is extremely detailed.
Nice, I like that.
The reason that I like it is because it's not the gameplay is not like an MMO. It's just it's like an actual like action game. So when you engage an enemy, right, you'll like you'll push you push W right click to go in for a headbutt, right? Then you'll like double tap D and like press a key, right, to like move to the side. You're like actually fighting, right? It's kind of not like because I'm not too keen on the like the WoW style MMO, click.
I am the same way. I've never been a fan of just general MMOs. Like I was super hyped for Elder Scrolls Online. And that kind of broke my dreams because, like, I love Elder Scrolls games. I love Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind. But as soon as I played that, I'm like, this feels way too much like MMO. And just that feeling of MMO just kind of ruins games for me. It's just, it's not good.
I also spent, like, a bit over $5 just buying trading cards and upgrading my Steam, just buying crafting badges.
What do trading cards even do? I never figured that out.
They craft
Deep
badges.
Nerd. The deep nerd. Ooh.
The deep nerd.
No, I'm just going to post in the group. This is my Steam profile. You'll see why I purchased because I've just simply made it an eyesore. But that's about all I've bought.
God damn it, man.
Anyway, so DreamHack Austin happened. What's holy shit?
Good shit happened there. Was good.
That an upset or what?
Are we talking about? Are we playing Chodat and?
Oh no, we're talking about Plup and Hungry Bucks.
Plup and H-Box.
Oh yeah,
man.
There's
the Plup Fox.
There's been a lot of interesting stuff actually from DreamHack.
Usually, like I don't watch Smash that often. You guys probably watch a lot more Smash than me, and I actually like really enjoyed watching every single game, or most of the games at least. Like it was just really entertaining for me.
Yeah, and like we actually got like a Canadian player. He's like in top 10 too.
Yeah, I can go. I would actually wanted to talk about that. Ryan Ford, essentially, who is I'm not sure what his rank is, but Ryan Ford has been around for a long time. He's kind of like now I'd consider him like there's three like top level Canada players, which are Nunn, Kirby Kaze, and then Ryan Ford, right? And Ryan Ford's run, like I have the bracket open here. I wanted to talk about this because he who sent him to losers? He coming into winners round 1, he got sent to losers by Plup. But his run through, now he's ranked 37th. His run to top 8 was he beat Gatsu 3-1, which I wouldn't necessarily count as an upset because of how much Falcon practice he has, but it's a pretty good win. He beat Cobal, then he beat Crush.
So that is for his rank, that's a tough go.
Gatsu's he's ranked 37th, Gatsu's 35, Cobal's 28, and then Crush is 23rd.
Wow.
And he made it in top 8. He actually had a pretty decent go at Drug Fox, taking even a convincing game off. But Drug Fox is Drug Fox, so
Yeah,
Leave that Drug Fox is just Drug Fox.
He just
gave him
bent him over and get the fuck out of here. A little spank, get the fuck out of here.
Just
the main important part is the fact that Plup managed to, the Plup Fox as well, managed to bring it, which is kind of very interesting because we've seen like he's done it before with Sheik, right? But I feel like Sheik is just such a hard matchup when you're not playing very specifically against it. But it's very interesting seeing when a Fox beats Hungrybox, because a lot of the times it can be like, sometimes it's just a fluke, right? Or, you think he's going to do well, but there's very different styles. So the main person who beats Hungrybox would be Armada, right?
Right.
Armada is very by the books, laser camp, down tilt, right?
Oh my god, Armada's so boring. Anyway, go on.
No, he's very boring against Hungrybox. I do not like it. You have, Mango, who's run and gun and oftentimes loses for it.
But he's one of the people who consistently beats HBox.
It's off and on. I think now he's up on sets this year, but he definitely had a pretty bad record against him, I think, last year. And then SFAT, everybody was thinking SFAT had. I was interested because SFAT, when I watched him first beat Hungrybox, he was truly watching him play. He really did study how Hungrybox played. He called him out. Like sometimes Hungrybox will just sit there and throw out empty grabs expecting a roll, right? Yeah. And like SFAT would just call him on everything. But now it seems SFAT's like he's still doing well, but he doesn't have that clutch factor that HBox has.
Yeah, it's one of the things I've actually really noticed with the players that have beaten Hungrybox, because like it's a really short list, or like consistently beat Hungrybox, is it's on one or two sides of a spectrum. There's it was a fluke, like it was a fluke, it was a close game, and you barely took it out, right? And you don't regularly beat him. And then I feel like on the other side, when Hungrybox does lose, it's sort of like Hungrybox hits a wall. Yeah. And like he just, I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the mental game maybe breaking down a bit and him being a little bit less patient, but like when he plays against Armada, he's just walled out, and Armada usually takes it pretty convincingly. And same thing if you watch a couple of sets when he was against SFAT, he was just like he couldn't do anything. SFAT sort of just walked all over him.
I think when the reason that when HBox gets like that is that I think that when he really shines, it's when he truly plays aggressively and he like believes himself. Because I feel like HBox planking isn't really all that great. Like he'll maybe he'll win against like a close game against Mango, right? Who doesn't want to approach him, or he'll win like against Chudat, who can't do anything against a planking Hungrybox. But when he starts to plank, I feel, and he starts to play a lot more defensively, that's kind of when he gets the runaround. Like I think HBox is really strong when he goes for those clutch plays. But I feel at DreamHack he had quite a few mess ups, like doing bad follow ups off of like up smashes. He straight up missed a rest in like his set with I think it was SFAT. He just missed a very easy rest, and it was actually surprised me. But as for Plup's play against Hungrybox, I just feel which this brings up a very interesting point, is how when they went to grand finals, Plup, I feel, just let the first set go just to kind of get his bearings, right?
Yeah.
And then,
but in the Hungrybox.
Yeah, and then he rolled him in the second game. But in winners finals, when they were at that last hit, right? Mm-hmm. I know everybody was like fucking puckered when that came up because it was Yoshi's last hit. I feel Plup proved himself to really have ascended to a higher level, because one thing's for certain about the gods is they have clutch factor. is
Yeah.
they have that ability to come back. You know, Armada can be down 2-0 and then dream cancel you just like that.
Mhm.
Like, and that's the same with Hungry Box. Like, he can be 120% on Yoshi's, and then Fox comes back with last stock and he grabs you and like throws you off and you're dead.
Rest you. Yeah, that actually sort of leads into one of the other things I wanted to talk about. Of all the like non-gods to beat one of the top 2 gods, I feel like it's really fitting that it's Plup. Like when I say that, it sort of just makes sense to me.
He also he double or he beat Mewtwo as well.
Yeah,
He did. Yeah.
He notoriously struggles in the Sheik Ditto against Mewtwo. Like a lot. Well, most people do struggle in the Ditto against Mewtwo,
'Cause he's
but
a
I feel
robot.
like I think in this case, Plup just finally, because Mewtwo Sheik has a lot of old stuff about it, like a lot of cheesy stuff that doesn't work. Like when he down throws, he goes for double jab, right?
Oh
which you can
yeah,
DI
he
out of.
does.
But
That
yeah,
doesn't
no,
work,
Plup,
yeah.
I think really definitely proved himself here that he can ascend to a higher echelon now that he has Fox, right? He has that clutch, you know, that Fox, because he might decide to use Fox against Armada now.
Yeah,
and he won't.
he's always sort of had that Fox, but as you said, his Fox definitely has ascended.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the production value, the cameras, the overlays,
I
casting?
really like the casting.
Mhm.
I think they did a really good job. They were very entertaining and kept you interested and knew enough about the game that what they talked about was very relevant. My only problem is that they didn't show the casters enough. Between series, between games, sure they showed the players, which was good, but you see the players all the time during the game. They should show the casters every once in a while and just gets more personality in them. But that was my
it sort of grabs you more.
right.
Yeah, I feel that production value wise, this was actually really, really high. Like one of the best, I think, production values in terms of viewer experience.
Oh yeah.
Just because they, it's everything was so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It was insanely smooth. I don't think that in terms of their sponsorship, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I know they got Monster as a big sponsor, and did Nintendo sponsor DreamHack?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
They usually don't sponsor.
Yeah,
much.
They don't like us. Smash
Yeah,
I like the
people.
Melee. But it was very fluid. Like I really liked just the attention to detail. I think this was this kind of raised the bar. I mean, Evo, with this following Evo, I'm like, man,
Evo was gross.
yeah.
Evo always has a lot of production value issues just because you have the sheer number of like people working on it, and then like I feel like it just they don't catch up with themselves as much as they should.
Yeah, but like last
So-
year's Evo was
Yeah.
really dope. That was some amazing production value.
Mhm.
Well, they've had a lot of issues. They've been up and down because the quality is definitely very poor. Like the 7, you know, they're not even like 1080p
Yeah.
for final. I remember in 2015, you had to purchase a $12 subscription to get the high definition stream, and it was literally just 720p.
That's dumb.
Goodness.
It was horrible.
That's really bad. But yeah, I feel what Dad was saying. It was really smooth. It wasn't really anything fancy or new, but
Yeah.
it was just really high quality. And the crowd was also nice. Like some tournaments, the crowd really makes the tournament, and it makes watching it just that much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
Oh,
Like-
sorry.
The crowd at DreamHack was like they were super enthusiastic and into it all the time. I know we've had issues with changeover where Melee fans are dissing the Wii U fans, or Wii U fans are dissing the Melee fans. Like we've had those issues pop up many times before because of scheduling and stuff. But it seemed like the organizers of DreamHack Atlanta, for at least I watched Smash and a little bit of Tekken. I don't think there were hiccups that we could see or I heard about too much. So I think it wasn't just smooth on the stream, but I think a smooth tournament as well, especially given its size. I think that's really commendable to the organizers.
Yeah, it was really, really well done.
It was impressive.
Very good job.
Hopefully we can do something like that one.
Yeah, like honestly, we should watch DreamHack just to get some examples, get some ideas to how to make our stream better. Honestly.
Yeah, no, and the same thing Katz mentioned. They weren't anything flashy.
Yeah.
If you watch the gameplay overlays, it's just it's player
Simple.
cams and footage, and here's sponsor deck. No big animations except for maybe like country flags and team logos change up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just looked really good. It's just a solid stream. Like there's not much else to say about it. It just looked great. It's great.
Recommend you watch it. It's some good sets.
Yeah, man.
My favorite set,
Smash 4.
I haven't even watched that much Transform.
The Smash 4 was a little. I think the video feed was a little choppy sometimes, and from the games, I don't think it was as smooth as Melee was.
Wait, who won Grand Finals for Smash 4?
Well,
wasn't it Zero?
Smash 4. No. What happened with Smash 4 was this. I'll just sum up why this was a wonky top 8. Is top 8 winners was Void, Larry Lur, Tweak, and Salem. And top 8 losers was Anti, Mr. R, DeBuzz, and Nairo.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, essentially,
those sort of like be
let's bring up the upset thread for top 64 because it's pretty big. So one of the biggest ones up here is Nairo with Bowser eliminate Zero.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's
because
insane.
Nairo's been showing that Bowser is a really viable counterpick character. He's been using him against Tweak a lot, but yeah, he beats Zero. Zero was actually sent to losers by the Peach player Samsura. So that's
Peach.
Yeah.
That is weird. That's really weird.
Esam sends DeBuzz to losers. Let's see. What else is? Nothing too big. Mystery beats Fatality, which is not as surprising. Fatality's been on a huge kick, but still pretty notable. But essentially in the top, for top 8, it was a very lopsided one. But I was excited because Void beat Larry Lur 3-0. Void was just moving incredibly. Void was, and Tweak managed to beat Salem, so just fresh off of his win. And then Void beat Tweak in winners finals to go to Grands. And then Anti beat Mr. R, Nairo beat DeBuzz, and then Nairo beat Larry Lur, Salem beat Anti, and then as if, and then in the, how should I, if you watched Evo, you kind of can see what's happening here.
Yeah.
Salem beats Nairo.
Right.
Then Salem beats Tweak. Then Salem, in a close set, resets bracket against Void. And then Salem beats Void.
Which is kind of like
Salem's
from losers.
On the up and up.
Well, it's also sparked a lot more of the controversy of Bayonetta is broken. You know.
Oh God,
so that's good.
It's not. But yeah, watching Void when he's on it is beautiful. It's something to behold. But I think we sort of need to jump onto our next topic. Actually, Nintendo Switch's online business model was actually announced a while ago, and it's really interesting. And my biggest problem with it is that it's Nintendo's online business model. Because Nintendo's always had just such... Like, I'm sorry, Nintendo, but you've always had such shit online. It has always been so bad. Feel free to disagree with me, but...
No, I agree with you. Like, it's a product, I think, of low-spec systems mixed with the company's misunderstanding of what the consumer's needs are from the online. I think it's just, they're like, we're not going to be like a PS Store or an Xbox Live. That's not what they want.
We just want to be a pile of poop.
a big pile of poop.
It's, yeah.
It's yeah.
I mean,
For Glory's great, dude. What are you talking about?
The one, and you know what? It's been from the Wii. You know, they tried doing it, and online was really bad for a lot of stuff. Most notably, like I remember Brawl being super hyped up that this is going to be the trademark on Nintendo Online something, Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. That's what it was called. And then it didn't really work. But then they improved it for the Wii U, and then for the Switch, they're just I think from my experiences with this Nintendo Switch, the online is actually like it works.
It works.
A lot better than I expected it to. But just the way they structure it is also very interesting, and I think kind of counterintuitive.
If you want to see some structure issues, let's jump into some of the details. We can go to the structural issues, or actually the really good part, the part that really makes sense. Where do we want to go with it?
Let's okay. Let's start with what makes the good part. Let's go to that.
Your online service is going to cost either $20 a year, $4 a month, or $8 for 3 months.
And what does that get you?
That will get you access to all online play. It will get you access to their store. It'll get you access to the library of updated classic games that are going to be give you like there's going to be online play for classic games, a bunch of stuff. There's online lobbies, voice chat, friend system, sort of the whole shebang.
Now there's obviously like a lot of negative feedback when like they add subscriptions. Like I know PSN got a lot of shit when it finally went pay to play. But I feel like although I'm against it, it's just the fact is that when they do a paid service, it inevitably does get quite a bit better. Like, Xbox Live I'm being biased here, but Xbox Live was always better than PSN in terms of connectivity and features.
Yeah,
like it just was.
PSN now is
So I feel like although this is a bit weird, the $20 a year really doesn't sound all that bad for the features. If they get their shit together and they actually make like a decent online service, unlike their last consoles, I think that it won't be really an issue.
That's I feel like that's an amazing price actually.
Yeah.
Compared to everybody else.
And it gets you more than. Here's the thing: is that a good example is that PlayStation Online now. You pay for the subscription, but then you have to wait in line for your download sometimes. Like that's so backwards on how an online subscription is supposed to work. And then you look at, I mean, for the price. For the price per, I guess whatever services you're getting, like ratio, you're getting your entire like virtual console library essentially, or a good chunk of that, and like an optimized online experience for. I mean, we'll see what happens when it comes out for full force in 2018. But I think the paid service is going to be good. I think it's good they're charging for it, because if they keep it free, they can always pull the it's a free service kind of excuse.
Cop out.
Yeah. It's a free. Our hamsters aren't fed enough at the servers because it's free.
Why aren't you feeding our hamsters?
Right. But with a paid service, it forces them in a way to look at it as how do we make this viable and actual product. Our online service is actually a service, something we're selling. We need to offer something.
Right.
That being said, it is cheaper. Maybe that's why it's also kind of wonky.
Let's dive in. Let's dive into the shit here, though.
Let's dive right in, shall we?
Man, do I sure love shit.
Hey, and I love just swimming, doing the backstroke, and just enjoying
feeling
the
it
shit.
Squish between the crevices.
My crevices.
The crevices.
Mm.
So
Crevices. Sorry.
Guess how you're going to be doing your voice chat and jumping into your in-game lobbies.
Surely it's nothing as unintuitive as maybe taking my cell phone, my smartphone, using the Wi-Fi connection of a completely different hardware device and software of a different hardware device and connecting that to my Switch, right?
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh no!
Right on the
Wait.
money. Yeah, you are going to
What?
have a special headset and adapter to plug into your phone, so your phone
No.
connect to your Switch, so
No.
you can have voice chat and online lobbies.
Can I just say this now? I don't like it.
Can I just say this now? Why did they give the Nintendo fan base the ability to talk to each other online? Why?
That
like,
sounds like a bad idea.
voice chat can already be very bad on like normal games on like Xbox Live, that sort of thing. But like, what do you think voice chat on Splatoon's gonna be like?
Oh, hey guys! Let's do this! Hiya!
God forbid they make like that. Like if they make Smash for Switch and they bring back
Oh.
For Glory and it
He's
does
got-
have
Oh,
voice
no.
chat, actually it wouldn't be that bad because then I'd be able to actually scream at people instead of try to type it through.
But it's gonna ruin people's childhoods. This console's for essentially marketed to children, and when children go online and hear all these people just shitting on each other,
Dropping the F bomb.
And, I mean, the
non-stop,
Switch-
it's gonna
the Switch
stop
is
them.
the Switch is like it's the family friendly child game console, and it's also the nostalgia man child console too,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But what astounds me, and I mean, I understand, it's part of their, lateral thinking of with their technology kind of thing that they've always done. Let's see how much juice can we squeeze out of this one specific orange peel. That's the mentality they have for their.
there's no juice left.
Exactly, that's exactly what they have, right? Look, you look at the chipset that's just inside the Switch. It's a Tegra 2 chipset from like 2 years ago, a year ago, and that they were like, let's overclock this sucker.
That's
I
always
mean,
a good idea.
You
Right,
see,
and that's
you know the little dock?
yeah,
That's why it's a toaster.
there we go, right? And it's insane that they're able to do such awesome stuff with such little things packed in there, but at the same time, like, why didn't you think of maybe having some dedicated hardware? If you're gonna do this online service, it kind of makes me think that the online service was there, but how big of, like, rather the scale of the online service was an afterthought. I think just because they're like, oh, well, we could just do virtual console library subscription like Netflix for games, and we could add voice. So let's just have them connect with their phones. This is why I'm so little peeved about it. And I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. I'm a slut for Nintendo. I will
We
say
all
that
know you're a
right now.
slut.
Oh boy!
But I think I was playing ARMS with my friend Jackson at his house with the Switch.
Sounds
And-
pretty hot.
Yeah, right? And then
Tell me
we
more.
played
Is that
played
what you call
ARMS.
it?
Yeah, it's Jackson's Happy Fun ARMS time. And I was playing this racing game as well. And if I stood a little too far from the console, the Bluetooth signal, because the controllers are connected by Bluetooth,
Bluetooth is shit.
it would
Oh, boy.
drop.
Oh my
Because it's not
goodness.
using I'm pretty sure it's using Bluetooth 4.0, but there's something with that adapter. The receiver, maybe it's his specific unit, but it's not, because I checked forums and they have Bluetooth issues.
Oh.
The phone's going to be connected to the Switch using Bluetooth. Okay?
Oh boy!
Your phone will be using... So, okay. It'll be using the input put into the 3.5 millimeter jack and broadcasting that over Bluetooth to the Nintendo Switch's Bluetooth, which is then ported over wireless. Now, here's the thing. You might put the argument where there's wireless headsets. But yeah, wireless headsets are made for that. Your phone is not only doing Bluetooth. It's transmitting cellular data. It's transmitting wireless data.
Downloading your porn.
High quality.
A lot of porn, man.
Okay? Splatoon. A Rule 34. I mean, you want that.
Oh, God.
It's just this voice chat thing. I'm just like, you want to do it, then do it right? Well, maybe they're gonna blow it out of the water. Maybe they're gonna surprise us all. But no, I don't think they will.
Well, I can only imagine that it's like, well, first of all, I would need to plug in my phone, and plus running this this app on my phone that's allowing me to use voice chat. My phone will explode. Like, I cannot touch that thing after charging for like 2 minutes. Like,
the hell?
Or using, like, it gets hot by using Twitter. Like,
I feel like this is not your problem. I think you just need a new phone.
Yeah,
Dude.
probably.
but
tweeting fire? I need to get on your Twitter train, dude.
But like,
Twin fire.
But I just feel like, why? Because now to get proper voice chat functionality and something better, people will have to upgrade their phones.
Yeah.
Like that's just so weird. Like it's just a level
It's
of
consumerism. It's like, hey, to play this other consumer product, you have to buy more consumer products, and you have to buy more.
You know what would have been better?
Yeah.
If they just if they wanted that functionality, why not use the perfectly good handheld console you have? You know, the 3DS.
Yeah.
Like,
That makes a lot more sense.
You could have connected it the same way. You could have. It has a jack at the bottom. Like it could have worked. You know, like it could have worked. Does the 3DS even have any functionality with the Switch yet?
No, and there's no cross functionality. I mean, hypothetically, there's an IR blaster somewhere on the Switch because one of the Joy-Cons uses IR, so maybe you could do it. But also, what 9-year-old is gonna have a phone? Like, you're gonna have to use your mom and dad's phone for this?
Well, what?
No, all 9-year-olds have phones
9-year-old,
these days.
probably all of them nowadays.
What 9-year-old?
It's 2017 now.
I work at summer camps. Like we have like kids from 5 to 13. I have like maybe like 2 9-year-olds have cellular based, like maybe iPods will work, maybe because they have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but they're gonna have like tons of cheap phones trying to do this.
Well, maybe it's a good thing that kids are not they don't have the technology to get online. Just
they
so
sort of have that barrier.
Get scarred. And like this like voice chat thing's only gonna be going towards the like older audience, which is why the older audience wants the
Guys,
voice
holy
chat.
shit, we cracked the code.
Guys, we're talking about the young generation that like has gone bonkers about a hunk of plastic with skateboard bearings in it. They'll find a way. We have rare fidget spinners. I'm sure like once like the Nintendo Switch is actually available for people, and people are actually able to find it, that when people get their hands on it, it's going to be a bit of an issue, and everyone wants to try these awesome services, and you can't, you know.
Anyway, let's jump out of this pool of shit, and
aren't we already in shit? We're going deeper. Deeper.
Politics. I'm so excited.
We're not going deeper.
Let's dive, boys.
Let's jump into some clean, healthy discussion. Dad actually mentioned it earlier. Netflix for games. There's a new service, actually. It's called Jump. It is essentially Netflix for indie games.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's sort of new.
Oh man, Ouya Part 2.
Oh, jeez. But it's essentially what it is. It's Netflix for games. What do you think? Like Odie, do you think that this is a good way to get your games? Like, do you want to get your games like this, like a sort of Netflix service?
So what you're saying is like
pay a month.
So pay a month and you get unlimited games, whatever games they have on there, right?
Yeah, you get access to their entire library by paying a subscription.
I can see that working because the great thing about Netflix, now we got Netflix series, and you've seen how great Netflix series are.
Yeah.
Like, they've come out with just good quality just by having this service out there and just having this great community in Netflix, and people just love it. So I can see this service being really good, like helping good games being made. Because now there's a really good excuse to make small indie games because they can be sponsored by this Jump thing and have the finances to make a really sweet indie game. So I'm actually like a little bit on board for this. This could work.
I would be a lot more interested because it would let me try a lot of indie games that maybe I don't want to search or pay like the $5-10 or whatever.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure about, and it lets you try out the ones that actually play quality indie game, because there's so many indie games coming out there.
And that's the thing, like indie games have trouble getting their like feet on the ground for getting a decent audience for, because it's hard to like advertise when there's such huge companies that they easily just take over the market for video games.
And there's just so many indie games being flooded into the community as well.
Right? It's hard getting noticed. And now that you have this little service that really kind of promotes these small indie games, as long as this service doesn't just get sponsored by Microsoft and Microsoft just throws all their Xbox stuff or just throws all garbage games in there. As long as small businesses are able to get sponsored by this company and get their games out there. Great.
I think that the fact that they're introducing this is good. I think because beta must have launched. It was announced in June, so it's beta now. Yeah, I'm checking it out right now. Yeah, so it's like a $10 a month access for a 60 game strong library at launch. So it's good because developers won't lose their titles because another new indie game has pushed their thing out of the way. Dragons. It won't be like, but we're going. I think that it's a good thing for the gaming community just because it's easier for indie developers. I think it's just better for the developers in general to be able to have a better marketplace to do it. And I think it's going to force, if it gains traction, it'll force groups like Steam to adopt practices that Jump might do to better their services, because like that's what Steam does and bigger companies will do. They look at what the little guys do, and if the little guys make big waves, they'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting idea for a platform for indie games, because a lot of people are split, and especially when Steam brought refunds into the mix, a lot of people were mad, and a lot of there were quite a few indie developers, probably more in the minority, that were angry about it. But it's an unfortunate thing for indie games because a lot of them are not necessarily long games, so people can play a bit of them, get the experience, then return them.
Yeah.
So, which is unfortunate, but you can't really deny basic consumer rights just because somebody may not have liked your product, right? But they should keep it. So I think this service is actually a good trade-off for the style that indie games usually are.
I'm actually I'm gonna jump on the other side of this conversation. I actually don't think this is obviously when you say it, the idea makes sense. Netflix for you games is gonna be great. But like I can see why it might work for Jump and indie games. Just sort of how that marketplace works, because and just what the games are usually about and how they play, and really what is under the flag of quote unquote indie. I can see why it'll work for Jump, but I don't think it's gonna work for anything else. I don't think it's gonna make big waves, because like, think about it. When you get on your computer and you go to play a game, you go to the same game, or you go to this game you really want. You heard about it a lot. You want to play that game, or I just really want to play this game. And I feel like gamers are really choosy, sort of. They pick and they grab what they want, and even if you offer everything to them, which is Steam and like the Steam summer sale. You can get things for like $2 that are amazing games. Like I got Shadow of Mordor for like $3.
Oh yeah, I got
like
that too.
like even then, people aren't gonna play it. I feel like it's sort of a difference in media when you switch from movies to games, because I can watch a bad movie. I've watched Rubber. That shit was that shit was hilarious, but it got old real quick, and I powered through it. But if I'm playing a game I don't like, I'm sort of just gonna stop and then go to a game that I do like. And then at this point, like I'm paying $10 for a bunch of every month for a bunch of stuff I don't use. Why am I gonna use it?
I think
like why am I gonna keep paying that $10?
I think there's there like I can definitely understand where you're coming from with a few people, but as I've seen a lot of services have been starting up, like Origin and EA started, their EA Access, and there's a few others that I can't quite put the name on that offer that like $10, $20 a month subscription for access to their games. And I think that because there are just a lot of people who just sit down and like will play a game and see if they'll play it for like 2 hours or something, and then not care, and they just want to keep trying more and more games without having to buy them. It's kind of it's a way that I could put it in comparison. Is it similar to Spotify versus iTunes, right? Some people want to buy their specific songs, other people just want to grab a bunch of songs and not have to worry, right? Have access to it right off the bat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're sort of running out of time here, so we're gonna quickly jump on to the next two topics that I really want to bang out.
Yeah, sounds good.
Something was really excited. It was announced a week or two ago. The Blizzard released the first 7 teams that are going to be in their Overwatch League that they're setting up. Which is it's exciting. I feel like everything's being done really well. Blizzard has had all the time in the world to look at every other pro gaming scene, and I feel like they're gonna take all the good stuff. I actually saw an article about a player minimum wage as well, which was super cool.
I like that.
But so here are the 7 teams that they announced. Boston. Oh, also the teams are going to be city based, and each team is going to like have their own arena, which
That's great.
I think's amazing. I think it makes a lot of sense.
It's really just kind of copying what other sports do, because honestly, that's what we're trying to make esports into, just like other sports, right?
Exactly, and like that's one of the things. You can get me to watch a sport if Team Canada's playing. I'll watch the sport. I'll cheer for Team Canada. Like that's sort of just how it works for a lot of people. At least I know that's how it works for me. But Boston is going to be one of the cities. Los Angeles, New York, Miami, San Francisco, and here's where it gets really interesting: Shanghai and Seoul, Korea.
Oh, Seoul, Korea makes sense.
No, like it makes sense, but when we're talking about a singular league, like you look at any other league ever, like in sports, in esports, everything's central. The NBA is the United States and one city in Canada. The NHL is the United States and some cities in Canada. Champions League for soccer is Europe, which is its own little thing. But if this is one league by itself, like what happens when Boston has to go play Shanghai? So they have to fly to Shanghai. They have to fly to their arena. Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of that's a big financial burden to get these teams to play. Like, is that how it's going to work? Or because they did say they're going to announce more teams, and the other teams are going to be around the world. So I sort of feel like they might do something like League of Legends, where you have the North American LCS, the European LCS, LCK, LPL in China. What do you guys think?
I think. Oh, go ahead, Hunter.
No, well, I was just going to put. I think they probably made the decision based off of both Shanghai and Seoul having the funding to be able to enter. So that's. I would probably say that's why they made the decision. They weren't.
And the
like,
audience,
hey, you're going to
too.
join. That's about it.
There's a lot more people interested in esports over there, so obviously more people are going to be supporting their local team, so the Seoul team. So they're going to have a lot more viewers, right? Yeah, they're just going for money for those Seoul and.
Plus, they got some
Shanghai.
good internet there in South Korea. So.
They do have good and they have good players down there.
And I think
Koreans.
yeah, with money being having this awesome gross income coming in, is a big thing for them. With Seoul being it's their national sport is StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
In Korea, so it's
Not
kind
anymore, but
or it takes it seriously, and then you have the summer games in China. Esports is going to be one of the summer games. It's actual part of that. If you take a look, like they're introducing that now. That's strategic on their part. They're like, you two cities from these specific countries, if we're gonna show something off, it's you guys, so we can segue into making sure our game is sustained there as an esport. And I think the second part of it, I think that with them kind of doing away with the whole, because leagues have always been done by a country or per city kind of deal.
Yeah, like all of NALCS is in Los Angeles.
Right?
All of it.
I think they want to sort of break that in a way and have leagues divided by skill only, I think, is what they're going to try going for. Sort of like thinking of how SR works. Just imagine that, like, you are in a team of this pool of people and one of your teammates is, I mean, they wouldn't do like teammates, but you're going to face one of these teams from, I don't know, Denmark, because they're in the same rank as you and they belong in the same league as you. And that'll continue up until you go to the top of your league, or if you go to the big leagues. I think maybe that's what they're trying to do.
It's an interesting take. That's I think the city-based part is really good. I think it's really interesting. I'm excited to see what the Canadian teams sort of come out as and if they're any good. And I've been slowly getting better at watching Overwatch. This weird curve where you
Overwatch is hard to watch for me, man.
It is
so hard.
But you get I've been watching it a bit more, and there's a little bump, and I feel like I'm at the top of it. We're getting there, but we have some super interesting stuff in movie news actually. So I was surfing Reddit today, as I'm doing like 90% of my life, but there was a Reddit thread, and it was that Martin Scorsese has banned like wristwatches and watches in general and clocks from his movie sets, and Christopher Nolan has banned chairs and water bottles from his movie sets. And it sounds really weird, but I dipped into the thread a bit more. I
dipped your toe.
I didn't get down to why Martin Scorsese doesn't want watches on his sets. But there was a comment. It was the top voted comment on the thread. Reddit comment by Tulips and Windmills. I'm gonna read it quote unquote for you guys. It's really interesting. It has to do with Dunkirk and the water bottles. So okay. Oh boy, I've got an anecdote about a plastic water bottle and an angry Christopher Nolan on the set of Dunkirk. They were filming scenes in Netherlands that took place on ships standing in for the destroyers in the movie. On that day, it was mainly shot by a helicopter going overhead, filming extras in full gear on one of the ships. Since the shoot took place for whole days at a time, there was a lot of downtime aboard, during which the extras would grab something to eat and drink before getting ready for the next shot. So it's time to get ready again. The crew moves out of the way. The deck gets cleared. The extras get in position. action gets called through speakers aboard the ship, and the helicopter is flying right above the boat, shooting in glorious IMAX format. Right at that moment, one of the extras on the front of the ship, in full view of the helicopter, takes a plastic water bottle out of his pocket and takes a big gulp of water. Shot ruined. After that, Nolan supposedly yelled via the speakers, "Who was that asshole with the water bottle?" I was an extra next week, and this story was told to us to explain what we absolutely didn't need to do during the shoot.
Wow.
You know, that really sucks. Going through like a lot of effort to get like a helicopter and getting all this shot super ready. We're like, okay, let's do this. Somebody was fucking thirsty.
You fucked up.
You get paid you get paid pretty well as a movie extra to just do what they tell you. Well,
a Nolan extra.
Yeah.
Well, my dad did work as a movie extra a little bit, and he said like for the pay and really just doing what they tell you to, dressing up and just kind of making sure you're not distracting in the background. Like there's a lot. It's more detailed than that, right? But all you have to do is not fuck up. It's like the only rule. Don't do shit like that.
God, yeah.
Are you telling me that they didn't have water bottles at Dunkirk?
Like you're in like this movie, this amazing movie, and you're gonna
about like an old war. And
it's a time travel. That's a sequel.
No.
Dunkirk 2. Traveling water bottles.
Oh god.
Water is eternal. Human lives aren't.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
Like what was it? That movie, The LA Project or whatever.
Oh my god.
But think about how much that fuck up cost actually. Like, first of all, they're shooting in IMAX, which, from what I read through that thread, is expensive as fuck. You're on a helicopter. You're paying for helicopter fuel, and you're paying somebody to fly the helicopter. You're paying for all these extras. You're paying for all these era perfectly done outfits to look exactly how they did when this event actually happened. You're paying for everyone to be there. They're shooting all day, and you're like, okay, this is a really basic shot. We're just flying over. It's gonna look really good. Easy peasy.
All the people have to do is just kind of sit there.
And then they kind of just gotta sit there, and then we can move on to the next shot. Fuck.
Who the hell was that?
Like, damn, shit, dude. That was thirsty.
No, thirsty, man.
We're sort of. I think we have time for one more topic, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you guys a choice before we start to wrap it up. Do we want to talk about the Justice League trailer? Do we want to talk about the leaked Avengers trailer? Do we want to talk about the Ready Player One trailer? Or do we want to talk about Adam's secret homecoming Easter egg that he watched a YouTube video on and wants to tell you about?
Let's do homecoming because you know it and it's personal to you.
Actually, we can fit in homecoming at the end. It's pretty quick. Okay. Well, so Ready Player One, Justice League, or the leaked Avengers trailer.
I'm just so excited for Ready Player One. It's ridiculous. Like, this has been my favorite book for a long time, and it's a really engaging book. And it's made for nerds, and they're making a goddamn movie about it. And they're actually making it accurate.
You inspired me, so that's what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna talk about anything good about Justice League if that's where it was going.
Now I'm interested why you're shitting on Justice League. I'm curious. What's wrong with it?
I have a lot of I don't know if I'd have enough time to go off on my tangent for like the little
Hey,
things. So
we could make this a special edition hour-and-a-half VolCast.
okay. Okay,
I have time.
I'll break down my basic things that I don't like. One, the fact is that they're coming into Justice League and they haven't really well established. Like the only well established character out of all of them that everybody seems to like is Wonder Woman. Every other character coming into the Justice League movie either like hasn't been established really, like, you know,
Batfleck.
like well, yeah, Batfleck was in the Batman vs Superman, but that movie was a lot of people very didn't like it. Man of Steel was a very mixed response movie, and then first of all, my thing is that they're taking a lot of things from Marvel's playbook, but they're not taking the right things. Like they have their own TV universe, right? But they're not drawing from it. They have established characters like Arrow. I know Arrow is an extremely popular series for DC, and Arrow is one of the establishing members of Justice League, but they're not using him. They have a very good Flash in the TV universe, but they're bringing a new Flash in. Like a completely different, out of nowhere, not established character. You know, they've just completely dropped all of that. On top of that, they're missing a lot of key members. Like Green Lantern just isn't in there because they didn't want to try again. They didn't.
I think I saw it in the trailer. There's a reason why Green Lantern's. Because I think the reason the villain comes to attack is because the villain thinks Earth is vulnerable with no Kryptonian or Green Lantern to protect it. But anyway, yeah.
But on top of that, I just feel DC does everything just really strange for their movies. I think a good example, because a lot of people will argue, oh, well, what's wrong with having dark comic book movies? And there's nothing wrong with that. But a good example of this, and a lot of comparisons are made, is the game Injustice 2, right? Mm-hmm. It is extremely dark, but the characters all have life to them. They're colorful. They have their witty banter. They're their comic book characters. But, you know, it's still dark, like Superman's melting Shazam's face off, right? Whereas I just feel like the DC universe movies are they're just bland in a lot of sense. Like, even, they didn't even take notes from the Dark Knight film where, although it's a dark movie, obviously, it still has its, you know, its color to it, right?
Honestly, one of the best superhero movies of all time. But yeah,
whereas, you know,
Dark Knights, yeah,
Superman's just, like, Man of Steel was just entirely, like, grayscale, I felt.
Yeah.
Like, looking at Justice League, it just, I don't know. The new trailer kind of changed my opinion a little bit. I don't think it'll be, like, bad, but I just have, you know, gripes with it.
I think the main reason you're feeling like this is because you've been disappointed so much by all the other DC movies that, and yeah, I do agree, like, the not having established characters is not kind of a mistake.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this could be a really good beginning for all the DC movies. Like as soon as this movie kind of pops off, and if it's successful, they're gonna make probably a full trilogy of Aquaman movies, and then a full trilogy of new Flash movies, and full of all this new stuff and Cyborg movies. It's just they're gonna try new things with this movie, and they're gonna just hope that it works. And I think I have good hopes for it because I just love the Aquaman they have. Jason Momoa is my man. That boy is my goodness.
Gets you home.
If anybody will door and my pants would just drop. Like, man. Like I am more horny for Jason Momoa than Sean. That's saying something.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like it's gonna be a bad movie. I just have gripes with it. That's
I can.
That's right.
I see your whole thing with the unestablished characters, but honestly, after watching the trailer, I really like the new Flash. At least from what they showed, he was sort of comical, sort of what the Flash has always been like. There's also
sorry.
Like Jason Momoa, obviously. Like who else would you get to play Aquaman? My big problems are like Batfleck. I don't know. I heard he was really good in Batman v Superman, and I heard that he's a really good Batman. I'm not too deep into Batman as a character, his comics, but I just have such a hard-on for Christopher Nolan's Batman in The Dark Knight and his trilogy of movies that
See,
I honestly I don't think I can really get over it.
I'm not too. I'm actually one of those people who's not too partial on Christian Bale Batman. I feel he's like kind of goofy with his voice. Not that it's horrible. It's just I'm not. It's not my favorite. The main problem I have with Batfleck is his costume design is so weird.
Yeah.
It
The ears, everything. It's so gross.
He looks
weird.
He's like, yo, they told me I could be anything, so I decided to be a cloud. Like, his muscles are just weird. That's also one of my big problems with it.
Well, that's the thing. Ben Affleck didn't really work out too much. Like, he didn't really get that fit for this movie.
No, he did. Well, maybe he did. Like, he did, but I feel like maybe it's the suit's problem and not the fact that he's not in shape.
It's a chunky.
Maybe.
It's a chunky Batman.
Yeah, he looks like slow. It's like Juggernaut Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that sort of threw me off a little bit about the Justice League trailer is there's a couple moments where like the CG like it buckled kind of, and like I saw through it and I really didn't like it. Like first of all, Cyborg is a CG mess. I hate him.
He looks so weird, and
Why is he there? Like, I was so weirded out. Like, Cyborg, it's like, but he's a teen. Like, he started out as Teen Titan, and then he's just kind of there.
Yeah,
and I feel like they just kind of pulled the slot machine. And like, which character are we gonna add to the Justice League?
Like, he's like, I don't get him. He has like zero like. He's even worse than all the other characters. Like, even at least Flash has some, like, they have a separate show, sure, different actor, but everyone knows the Flash. Everyone knows all these other characters. No one knows Aquaman. Cyborg, I feel like no one really knows him. He's just not a popular character on the Justice League. I don't know why they brought him in. I think
he's like the kitty. Wait, no, that's the Flash though, right? Flash is supposed to be the young kid one, right?
Yeah, Flash is
He's
the
like
millennial come watch our movie bait.
Yeah, and then Cyborg's edgy.
I can't see that.
I mean, that's Batman. That Batman's edgy. Okay, well, he's
Aquaman's funny.
But wait, we have Wonder Woman.
She's the girl.
She's just the girl.
And then we have Aquaman, and
the badass girl.
We could have, like I said, used Arrow because you have a very well-loved character you've made a TV series for.
Who was in the animated Justice League, by the way.
He's a founding member. He's an original Justice League member.
And the animated Justice League series was so well received. And most of the animated movies were well received too. So why, right? Why didn't they do that?
I feel like they're just kind of like looking at all this other Justice League stuff and DC stuff, and they're just like, oh, that doesn't exist. What is animated? What?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Exactly. Yeah, there we go.
But I actually think I can sort of justify maybe why they put Cyborg in there. Teen Titans was one of the greatest animated cartoon series of all time. I loved it. I tuned in, like the original one, not all the other crap. But it was an amazing show, and Cyborg was, I'd say he's honestly maybe even sort of one of the main characters. He was comic relief. I don't know. He was a good character. He was a good character.
He was the deputy leader.
Yeah, like so. Maybe they're trying to pull from that or something.
What you're saying is they're trying to connect to people that used to watch this old show and just like, hey, it's Cyborg. I'm gonna watch this movie just because Cyborg's in it, and use it in Teen Titan.
Because he's like a black guy cyborg, which is exactly what he was in the
I can see that
series.
Yeah.
Oh man,
he looks kind of weird though. You know,
he looks so weird.
Oh my god,
so messed up.
The CG's so and like his legs, they're so skinny, and
the CG's
his
in general.
It's just tiny. Like
tiny.
he looks like he's made out of glass. You know, he doesn't look like the Cyborg from Teen Titans. Remember that he was huge. He was hulking, and he had he just had personality.
Yeah.
But this Cyborg just seems a little just
Bland.
underwhelming.
Sort of
Yeah.
like some weird Ghost in the Shell shit.
Yeah.
He just like the fact that he just looks like he looks less human than the cyborg model in Injustice 2.
Yeah.
So, and
He
I mean,
does.
to be fair, the Injustice 2 models are pretty phenomenal, but like, just come on. The CG is just bad in general. Like, it's just like Aquaman coming down from the like when he's coming through the building. In
Yeah,
that one scene.
exactly. That was one
It
of the
was
scenes
just,
I was exactly gonna say about. Sorry, continue.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like that CG just broke apart real quick. I'm like, that looked terrible. It was cool, but it looked terrible.
I just hope they fix a lot of things before they actually release it. Like, I just hope that right now, I hope that's not the final product, like what they have out right now. They just clean it up.
Anyway, next topic.
Yeah.
Ready Player One. So who here is Ready Player One?
This guy.
This guy. Oh, okay.
I haven't actually.
You should.
You really, really sure? I feel like you would absolutely love it, Sean. Actually.
Oh, sweet.
So
see, and then there's my side of the spectrum where I'm not gonna lie. From whatever information I got about it, I thought that it was, and from the way the title was phrased, I thought it was a documentary. But I did see the silhouette of Iron Giant on there, and I was like, "Hey, what's this?"
What the fuck? I'm not reading your
Yes!
your documentary book. What the fuck? That sounds terrible.
But no, it's actually one of the greatest books ever.
It is an amazing book. I would definitely suggest reading it. But I forget what one of the description is from one of the reviewers of the book. But it's like, imagine World of Warcraft had sex with the goddess that is pop culture in general from forever, and made a baby that was the VR that everybody wants and dreams of and could ever wish for, and hopefully we get there one day. And they made a movie about it, and the person who made this amazing VR shit died, but he put Easter eggs and his love for 80s pop culture and 90s pop culture in different places, and and the person who gets through all these Easter eggs and finds everything owns the entire space that is the virtual reality and the company that made it. And it comes into consequences, and there's a big company that's trying to find all this shit, but it's super hidden, and people haven't found anything for years. But there's a subculture of people who dove into the 80s and the 90s and started loving the things that the creator did and started looking for these Easter eggs. And our hero is one of those people, and that's sort of the gist of the book without really spoiling anything.
That sounds really dope. I'm gonna read
that.
that.
There's so many video game references to like Star Wars, Star Trek, all the old games like Pac-Man and like, oh god.
Yeah, in the trailer, there's like the Iron Giant. You see Deadpool and Harley Quinn and R2-D2 and this bike from a Japanese anime that I forget. You see the
Akira.
I'd
assume, yeah.
You see the DeLorean, and the thing that makes it the most amazing is so we're mashing all these things into this movie, right? That sounds like a licensing hell, right? That sounds like it's gonna cost so much money, and it's not gonna be worth it because you can't focus on these characters. But I read an article, and like it gave me so much hope for this movie. Even though I honestly kind of didn't like the trailer, it didn't really tickle me in the right way. But there was zero licensing issues for the hundreds of references to pop culture. Zero. So we're going to like.
This movie's gonna happen.
Yeah, like it's not that it's not gonna happen, because I'm sure it was gonna happen even without all that stuff. but it's really gonna come to life like it did in the books.
Yeah.
With all the characters we love and the characters we read about in the book and our references.
And all the sweet references, and just like people that haven't read the don't know that much about it, they'll still get a lot of the references because they're just general pop 80s references. Like it's just Star Wars stuff, and they're cool.
It really gets my nerd boner going.
I'm actually really interested in learning about this author, actually, because he's a very interesting person.
Yeah,
Ernest Cline.
he is a very interesting person.
The author of Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read his second book too. He's a good. It's an R8 sequel. It's not as good as the first one, but he's a.
There's a sequel to Ready Player One.
Yeah, it's not really a sequel, but it's just another book that's very similar, like very nerdy, except it's just a different. Yeah.
Yeah, he's honestly I believe he's a lot like the character who created the Oasis, sort of.
Yeah.
Which is the name of the virtual reality that they're in.
Oasis, yeah, that's the game that the entire world just plays.
Because it's that good.
Yeah.
Because it's the virtual reality that we ever wanted, always.
That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, you two should definitely check it out. Anyway,
move on.
You know, we're already like 20 minutes in. Let's keep going. The Avengers, the leaked Avengers trailer.
There was a lot of good things and bad things I saw.
I saw
a lot of good things.
I saw
all good.
I saw no bad. I saw zero bad.
I was when you linked that. I just we saw all the heroes all one, and then just that ending, that Thanos.
Thanos just using the space,
stomping shit,
the gauntlet,
stopping people. Well, that's the thing. You saw that his gauntlet wasn't complete. He only has 1 stone in it right now.
Yeah.
Which is it's good because if he had all 5 stones,
wrecked.
Avengers would not have a chance. Straight up.
It's like one.
They barely have a chance without the
right. He's still super powerful by himself, plus the space stone.
It'd be like one of those prequel memes. It's like, what was it? Do you know anything about this stick? Nope. A film by George Lucas. Roll credits.
I've never heard the tale of Thanos the Great.
It's not a tale.
He annihilated billions of his own planet's race just because he wanted to screw death.
Literally.
Embodiment.
Literally. I love that story. Honestly, I really like that backstory of Thanos.
Actually, I don't know the backstory, but I'm sure I'll look it up later.
I have.
Long story short, he got cucked by Deadpool.
Everyone gets cucked by Deadpool eventually.
He loved death so much, the embodiment, the female human embodiment of death, that he committed mass genocide over billions of his own race.
And you know what Death did? She was like, "That's really cool, but Deadpool."
But Deadpool's a thing.
Look at those weird fleshy. Okay, no, yuck. Oh god. But I have a titillating question. So it has been confirmed that characters will die during the Infinity War. Who is gonna die? Dad.
Scarlet Witch. We're going to have either Cap, or we're going to have Cap die or go missing in action. So
again?
he's going to become. Okay, from the comic books, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have Spidey survive because he's the middleman.
He's sweet.
Stark's going to survive. Vision will go.
Yeah, I can see him going.
Scarlet Witch will die because they're not going to have enough time to go into the whole Vision and Wanda having kids. We're going to have who else is going to die? I think those are the only deaths so far we're gonna have.
You don't think any of the Guardians will die? Not even maybe Hulk?
No, Hulk's not gonna die.
Hulk never dies.
Hulk, because they want to keep Planet Hulk as a possibility.
Right? Oh, right. But no Guardians are gonna die. No Guardians of the Galaxy.
See,
Aura, maybe.
Optimus.
Well, I see. I
Maybe
don't
Mantis?
know where. I actually just don't know who to call. Like, if anybody's gonna die, because like, yeah, you can go off comics, but they've shown they're not afraid to like deviate.
Yeah.
Kind of like, because if you kind of like look into like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, has everybody seen it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because like what they did with Ego, right, and like all that mixture of different characters, right, and so I really don't like to call who's gonna die based on the comics.
True.
Because like they really could do anything. Like for all they know, hey, Robert Downey Jr. doesn't want to do these anymore. Let's just kill him off. Like fuck, they could do that.
But who, like, deep down in your little nerd heart that was bullied in like middle school, like who do you feel is gonna die?
I do. If I were to feel, I feel like Tony Stark's gonna die.
I think if they kill Cap off, that's going to be great. I mean, like, I love him as a character, but that's just going to be like, oh man, here's our American values have fallen.
Ooh.
Just the representation was actually happening.
Ooh, real life foreshadowing.
Like
Yo.
they like to make those political statements, right? And then Bucky can step up to the plate of being Cap. Because they've teased that so many times from like Winter Soldier, where Bucky grabs the shield, and then Bucky actually uses the shield at one point too. So it's and they have the source material for Bucky being Cap after Captain America does die. So I think, man, if any of the main heroes is going to die, I think it's Cap.
Interesting. Odie, who do you think's gonna die?
Vision for sure. Like that's just kind of obvious because he has the Infinity Stone. So I can see Scarlet Witch. What else? I can also see Cap dying. I can see Mantis out of the Guardians dying, just because she's not that well developed. Like some people like her, but
I liked her. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, she's not bad. She's not bad. It's just
on the inside though. She's
yeah.
on the outside.
And I don't know. I don't think any other Guardians will die just because they just want to keep more Guardian movies because Guardian movies bring up so much money.
And they're good.
Yeah.
And they're actually fantastic. So I think they're gonna try to keep like the main bunch of the Guardians together, but the side new additions like Mantis and stuff might die off.
I honestly love the Guardians of the Galaxy so much. Like they're pushing like my favorites in the Marvel universe. But so so there's two things. I had a dream. It was more of a vision.
Oh yeah, dream.
more of a vision of
Oh.
an amazing reboot. It's sort of a personal idea. Marvel, contact me if you wanna pay me money and stuff. But okay, so peep this.
Yeah.
So you can see a connection between Iron Man and Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
There's the father-son sort of pseudo thing there. They're both really smart. They're both geniuses. They're pretty much at the same level when you look at other source material. It hasn't really been explained or shown in the cinematic universe, but it doesn't really have to be. So imagine this. Iron Man dies in the Infinity War. So who is going to take up the mantle, the leadership of the Avengers? What if it's Tom Holland's Spider-Man? And wait. So
I'll stop you right there. It's gonna be Happy.
So just imagine Tom Holland's pretty young right now, but he is going to get older. What if they want to keep him? So Tony Stark dies. Peter Parker takes up his mantle as the leader of the Avengers. He has the know-how. He has the technical ability. He can make all these things for the Avengers, sort of like a father figure. So he sort of steps in and takes on that mantle. I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like it's really dope. And if they were to sort of reboot the Avengers, because
like after the Infinity War, after all these people die.
Yeah, because the Infinity War is
Spider-Man.
kind of the end of this cinematic universe almost,
And
right?
yeah.
Sorry, Dad, you were saying.
It wouldn't be the rise of the because they're doing the Inhumans TV series. What is the there's that I remember there was this arc where it was Spider-Man, Wolverine, and a couple of mutants mixed with either way, it was this weird group where Spidey was the lead of it for a while, and I think that's kind of cool. That that little train of thought you have there is that because in Civil War, and I mean in general, Spidey's like the best of both worlds of Cap and Iron Man.
Yeah.
He's like he fights for what's right, and I mean Spider-Man's not super stupidly powerful, but we know that if he's like pissed, what he's actually capable of doing, like we haven't seen that yet. So it'd be great to see his character like break out of his let's keep everything in control kind of thing too. I think that would be dope.
And to like break out of Spider-Man's a kid, Spider-Man's a child, Spider-Man's really young. What if we broke out of that? What if we tried something different? Like,
and that would be cool. I think that would be cool. Is like because cinematic universe would be able to do something that no source material has been able to do of that level yet. Like having Spidey be able to actually take on more of an adult role and have that hero grow. I mean, that's the beauty of this cinematic universe is that they're definitely going to try a lot of different things.
What do you think about my crazy idea, Optimus?
I can definitely see it. I'm not sure if I think that him taking up the mantle that early, and because they've shown that he's young teenage Spider-Man, that he's not the
20-something.
He's not the 40-something-year-old man he was back in the 80s cartoon, who wore sweater vests and lived with his for some reason. But yeah, I could see it. I can definitely see it, but I'm not too sure if young Spider-Man would take or this younger Spider-Man would take up the mantle.
That's a good insight. I think I totally agree with you. After watching his character in Homecoming, I don't know. After seeing Homecoming, he's a good character and he's a good Spider-Man, but he sort of feels really empty still as a character. Like there's not a lot of stuff going on. He's just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man who has a crush on a girl and stuff and feelings and
God,
my
feelings.
body's changing.
And
I can now squirt white stuff at insane distances, and
Don't worry, they're useful. It's part of a healthy development.
It's part of a healthy development.
But Infinity War is going to be a saga, right? It's going to be a couple of movies.
It's only 2 movies.
But
two. Actually, right about this, they're going to be pushing 2.5 hours each.
2.5 hours. So Civil War Part 1 is done. Wait, Civil War was just one movie, right?
Yeah, Civil War is just one movie.
Okay, so there's a lot of room for them because now they've like whenever a franchise brings in like space travel and shit, you like always can bring in time travel shit too.
Easy peasy,
right?
That.
And like the expanded MCU would be insane, like Spider-Man 2099 or like whatever, like or like
Spider
having
Pig.
or like what
Beta Ray Bill.
Oh my god! Oh, if they did that. But like, isn't Deadpool is technically Marvel Entertainment, right? Even though that 20th Century Fox did it, it's still Marvel.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Deadpool and Spidey are
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
Maybe they can bring an alternate universe where Fantastic Four had a good movie.
That's how they'll introduce the Fantastic Four.
It just makes me sad.
But
They had so many chances.
imagine
Yo, they tried so hard.
imagine the panties that would drop if Ryan Reynolds and Tom Holland were on the same screen.
Oh my god. My panties would go flying.
I'm just disappointed there's not going to be a Wolverine Deadpool movie.
Hey, I'd be really happy if they bring back X-Men. Like, just bring back X-Men. I don't mind if it's different actors as long as they pick well.
I feel like it's going to take a couple of years.
It will take a couple years because we do love all the actors, like all of them. Ugh, Hugh Jackman. Ugh.
Logan was so good.
So good.
Yeah.
Logan was great.
Honestly, I'd be fine with just Logan being the last one.
I would be okay with that as well.
Logan was perfect.
Seeing how the world works, they're gonna reboot it eventually. Like they reboot fucking everything.
The sweet quiche.
We're bringing back Steel. We're bringing back Howard the Duck. Everything's good.
Oh god.
Go ahead.
I felt like I read somewhere that Squirrel Girl is actually going to be in the Infinity War.
No.
So hot. Oh.
And that's why everyone loves Squirrel. I was gonna say, why does everybody like Squirrel Girl? And you literally just summed it up.
What's her superpower? She's just really hot.
Isn't she actually supposed to be really, really powerful or something in the comics?
Well, she's defeated Magneto once before.
Really?
Yeah, no, she has.
Yeah.
The name is Squirrel Girl.
I'm just excited for cinematic universes in general because like Hasbro's cinematic universe. I know we were talking about Transform. I mean, like I don't want to sidetrack too much, but it's just something that just reminded me. After the last Transformers film, Michael Bay's leaving, so Hasbro's like getting back into making sure the Transformers timeline gets fixed. It's sort of the same thing what they did with the X-Men. So they're gonna retcon a bunch of shit. But here's the fun part: they're gonna be connecting all their Hasbro toys. Like they're gonna be doing a GI Joe crossover. They're gonna be doing a bunch of these crossovers and stuff. But what's really sweet is that Hasbro has actually done a ton of stuff with Marvel in the past.
Oh
yeah. I've looked at the
heavy breathing.
The Marvel Transformers mix.
I know. I know. One day.
I don't know if I want to mix my GI Joe peanut butter with my Spider-Man jelly though.
Oh no, but like rebooted Transformers peanut butter with your Spider-Man jelly.
No,
Don't say no until you try it, man.
Like you're not even pushing rope on my nerd boner right now.
That's why mine is so big. Just
so erect.
I have two now.
One just started budding, and it's like you're what the hell? Your bone is asexual and start reproducing.
Second puberty.
I'm ready.
Oh god.
You have voices now.
Okay.
I'd be just okay with fucking like Hulk just beating the shit out of Starscream.
That'd be cool. I can get on board with that.
He just does the Starscream what he did to Loki in Avengers.
Boom.
Starscream's
Anyway,
voice.
let's wrap this shit up with the Homecoming Easter egg.
Okay.
So there's a really big sort of a fan push before when they announced that there's going to be another Spider-Man. We didn't know who, we didn't know when. All we knew is that Marvel was going to be doing a Spider-Man, and everybody's really excited. And there's big sort of community push to get Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, to be Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
Which he's actually voiced Spider-Man in the past in an animated series. He's a big Spider-Man fan. People really like him. I think he'd make a decent fit as a Spider-Man, but
he made a joke about it on his comedy special.
Yeah,
it's really awesome.
But so there's big fan push. People really wanted him to be Spider-Man, and it didn't happen. I don't know, nerds got over it and listened to his new album or whatever. But he's in Homecoming as a character.
Yeah.
He's sort of a small time character. He really doesn't have much significance.
He likes ice cream.
He likes ice cream. He tells Spidey where the bad guys are, and he tries to buy some weapons to stick up a guy, and he gets offered an alien bazooka and is like, "What the fuck?" Which, you know, who wouldn't? But so that all happened. That's essentially Donald Glover's part in the movie. But part that a lot of people sort of missed, and the part that I learned from watching a YouTube video, is his name. I forget his exact name, but it is the name in the Spider-Verse. There's the half black, half Hispanic Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And he has an uncle, and his uncle is one of the main bad guys in his comic book. But like obviously he doesn't know that and stuff like that. But he is one of the main bad guys in the comic book. I think he's even one of the first bad guys, is his uncle. And Donald Glover's character is named his uncle's name. He is essentially his uncle.
So you're saying Donald Glover might be the villain of the next Homecoming movie?
Rather,
he might be the villain of a different Spider-Man movie, or some maybe TV show of Spider-Man, where instead of Peter Parker version of Spider-Man, we have Miles Morales. And I know Donald Glover loves Spider-Man, so I'm sure he really wants to be involved in Spider-Man. Obviously, he got in on the movie as sort of like a really small character, but maybe this is like a little taste at what we might get and a different piece of media. Donald Glover bad guy, Black Spider-Man, and something else. Huh?
I'd be super okay with this. I was one of those big fanboys that like really wanted Donald Glover to be Spider-Man because that'd been sweet. And if they do a spin-off where he's Spider-Man again, or does his different version of Spider-Man, I'll be okay with that.
I think it's great that they're really going the Miles Morales route with Donald Glover in it.
Even though he's not Spider-Man.
Yeah,
he's the bad guy.
Mean, he's still like, but that's so sweet because he's still like part of that Spider-Verse.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see it since I don't really myself know much about the Miles Morales, side of Spider-Man. I'd be interested to see it.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool if they expanded on the Spider-Verse when it comes to media and movies and TV shows and video games and blah blah blah, things that aren't comic books. Anyway,
anywhoozin',
guys, we just finished our second podcast.
This was a long one.
Yay!
This is good. I like it. Good job, guys.
Fuck off.
Thanks, cats.
We did it. Now, go the fuck to bed or something.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I have to work tomorrow.
I do have to work tomorrow as well. So
the freaking Doomfist. Go and sit down.
Go and sit down.
I'll get the editor to cut it right as I said that. Go the fuck to bed. Cut. End of podcast. Anyway, thank you all for watching.
Yeah.
Tune in for our other streams that we will be getting up and running.
We'll for sure get streams going in September. We might be a little slow in August, but we'll get there.
We're working on it. Check out some of our events coming up. We have Unity, which is our Smash Bros. Tournament. That is going to be great. We're going to be streaming that and commentating that. Check out our Facebook, our YouTube, where we post lots of stuff. Anything you want to say before we leave, Dad?
Yeah, no, we're going to be super busy and involved with bunch of orientation stuff at UNBC. So keep an eye out on UNBC Student Life's social media. Some volcanic involvement. Unity's sign up will be launched this weekend, and sponsors to be announced throughout the campaign. And that, it's going to be a nice busy year, and the team's going to be all back together by the end of next month.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be fun.
So excited.
Ooh.
Let's do it. And cut.